First Meqabyan, chapter 21. David believed in Yah, for Yah had believed in him. He saved him from being a refugee from the hand of King Saul. David had believed in him and kept his law when his son Absalom rose, when the Philistines arrived, when the Edomites and the Amalekites rose, and when one of the 4 giants rose. Yah saved David from all this tribulation that his enemies who disputed him brought on him. Prevailing is by Yah's will. They were defeated by the hands of their enemies. Yah did not spare the evil kings who did not believe in him. Hezekiah believed in Yah. He saved him from the hand of Shalmaneser, who was arrogant. But his child Manasseh was defeated by his enemy's hand because he did not put his trust in Yah. He did not put his trust in Yah, as he did not respect Yah, who completely honored him and made him famous. They bound and took him to their country, and the enemies who defeated Manasseh weren't like him. At that time, Yah denied him the kingdom he gave him. He did not work good deeds before his creator Yah, so that his years would abound, and that he would dispute his enemy for him, so that he would have power and strength behind and in front. It is better to believe in Yah than in many armies, better than believing in horses, bows, and shields. Believing in Yah surpasses all. A person who believes in him will strengthen up, be honored, and be completely lofty. Yah does not favor a face for those who do not believe in Yah, who believe in the abundance of their belongings, become those who depart from the grace and honor that he gave them. He will guard those who believe in him, but he will make those ignorant who call him ignorant. They do not discipline their reasonings to follow Yah or keep his law. He will not quickly help them in the time of their tribulation or in the time of their enemies' dispute with them. To the one who was disciplined in worshiping Yah and keeping his law, he will be a refuge in his time of tribulation. By destroying his enemy, by plundering his enemy's livestock, by capturing his enemy's countrymen, by raining years of rain, by growing sprouts amid the grain pile, in the plant's fruit, by raining the first spring rain, by making the grass green, and by giving the constant rain, that your family under your authority would be great. He will make him great. He will make him great so that they could eat off their enemies' possessions, so that they could rest, having eaten the money they plundered from their enemy, so that they could plunder animals, sheep, and cows, so that they could eat at their enemy's dinner table, and so that they could take their enemy's children captive. Yah will do all this for the one whom he loves, but he will make the person who hates him the ransack of his enemies. He will bind his feet and hands and will cast him into the hands of his enemies. He will make him for his enemies' derision, as he had become a shedder of blood who demolished Yah's law. He will not make him great in the seat of his house. The one who hates him will not strengthen up in the time of judgment, so that he will bring hardship to those who work sin. He will also give those who work evil the hardship of their own sin. It was commanded from alongside Yah to give to those who work good deeds their reward, so that he would keep them in his authority. He is empowered over all the creation he created, so that he would do good and give them eternal welfare, so that they would praise Yah who created them. He commanded that Adam keep his law. Apart from mankind, there are none from all the creations he created that departed from his command. Yah commanded everyone who lives strengthened up in each of their works, so they all know and are kept by his law. Man is emboldened over Yah, who crowned them all over each of their inventions, over animals, beasts, and heaven's birds, whether it is in the sea or on land. Yah gave all the creation he created to their father Adam. Yah gave it to them so that he could do as he wished, so that they could eat them like grain that grew on the earth, and so they could rule and tax them, whether they were beasts or animals, so that they could be commanded by man. He appointed them over everything. He created so that he who reigned would be commanded by Yah, who gave them honor, so that they would favor him. If they depart from his law, he will separate them from the lordship he gave them. He is the one who rules earth and heaven. He will give it to the one who does his will. He appoints whom he wishes to appoint, but he dismisses whom he pleases to dismiss. He kills, he saves, he whips in tribulation, and he forgives. There is no other creator like him. He is ruler over all the creation he created. There is no other without him, the creator, in heaven above, under the earth, or on the earth beneath heaven. There are none who should criticize him. He appoints, he dismisses, he kills, he saves, he whips in tribulation, he forgives, he impoverishes, and he honors. He hears those who beg him in their plea, and he accepts a person's plea who does him honor with a clean reasoning. He does their will for them in all that they ask of him. He makes the great and the small to be commanded by them. All this is their power, on hills, mountains, in the trees' roots, in the caves, earth's wells, and all their families, over the land and the sea, to those who honor their Creator. All this is their power. He will not trouble them from the plenty, and he will give them the reward of their praise. He will give them the honor he prepared in heaven for their fathers, Isaac, Abraham, and Jacob. He will give them what he prepared for Hezekiah, David, and Samuel, who did not depart from his law and command. It is so that they would be great in his lordship. He will give it to those who serve him from antiquity, the honor he prepared for their fathers, Isaac, Abraham, and Jacob, to whom he swore to give them an inheritance. Chapter 22. Please think of a person's name who did good deeds and do not forget their work. Straighten up so that your name will be called like their name, and so that you would be great with them in the kingdom of heaven, which is the home of light that he prepared for nobles and kings who honored Yah and were kind. Know and be convicted of evil nobles and kings' names, so that he will convict them and revile them alongside man after they die. They did not line up their deeds while they saw and heard. Know and be convicted that unless they did Yah's will, he will judge them in the kingdom of heaven more than criminals and those who did not know Yah's law. Be kind, innocent, and honest, but do not go down the path of those who forget Yah's law, over whom Yah troubles because of their evil deeds. Judge the truth and save the orphan child and the widow from the hand of the sinners who rob them. Be a guardian just as the father for the orphan was, so that you would save him from the hand of the wealthy who robs him. Stand for him and be alarmed when a child is orphaned and their tears flow before me, so that you are not alarmed in the sea of fire where unconverted sinners are punished. Straighten up your feet to the path of love and unity. Yah's eyes look on his friends. His ears hear their plea. Seek love and follow it. Yah's face of wrath is toward those who work evil deeds, so that he would destroy the invocation of their name from this world. He will not spare a person who nears on ramparts or mountains. As I am Yah, who is Godhood, as I am a creator who avenges and destroys those who hate me and do not keep my word, I will not turn my face of support until I destroy the one who does not keep my word. I will honor those who honor me and keep my word. Chapter 23. Do not live hardened up in Cain's order, who killed his brother, who followed him in innocence. It seemed to him that his brother loved him. He killed his brother, envying his father's daughter. People who make envy, iniquity, and betrayal over their companion are just like him. Abel was as innocent as a lamb, and his blood was like the blood of a clean lamb that was sacrificed before Yah with a clean reasoning. Others went down Cain's path and not Abel's path. All those who live in innocence are those who Yah loves, just as Abel was a kind man. They have been as innocent as Abel was. Those who live strengthened up in Abel's work love Yah. Yah neglects evil ones, and their final judgment makes application for them over their bodies. It was written on the record of their reasoning. When judgment is judged, they will read the record before man, messengers, and before all the creation. At that time, they will be shamed. Wrongdoers and refusers who do not honor Yah will be ashamed. An alarming word will be given to them. It is, place them in Gehenna, where no exits are for eternity. Chapter 24. When Gideon trusted Yah, he defeated the uncircumcised people's armies, which were very many, an army of a few tens of thousands, and uncountable like locusts. There is no creator without me. O nobles and kings, do not believe in idols apart from me. I am your creator, Yah, who sent you forth from your mother's womb, raised you, fed you, and clothed you. Why do you justify yourself? Why do you worship your idols apart from me? I did all this for you. What did you give me? It was so that you would live strengthened up in my law, order, and command, so that you would give your bodies welfare. What else do I want from you? Yah, who rules all, says this. He says, save yourselves from worshiping idols, sorcery, and pessimism. It is discouraging. Yah's discipline will come on those who do this. To those who hear this, honor demons and are their friends who live hardened up in their command. Save yourselves from worshiping idols. As people who do not know you and are not nice to you will rise over you unless you respect Yah and honor him. They will eat from the money you labored for. His servants, the prophets, spoke, just as Enoch and Asaph spoke. Unless you honor Yah, they will eat off the money you labored for. Evil people will come having changed their clothes, he says. There is no other law among them besides eating, drinking, adorning silver and gold, living, having hardened up in sin, and all the work that Yah is displeased in. They are prepared to go to drink and food after they are awakened from their slumber. From morning to evening, they go toward evil work. There is misery and tribulation in their paths, and their feet have no path in the ways of love. They do not know the work of love and unity. There is no respect for Yah in their faces. They are crooked and evil people without religion or virtue. They are greedy people who eat and drink alone. They are drunkards, and their sin is without law and measure. They are people who go toward seducing, shedding blood, theft, deceitfulness, and violent robbery over the poor. They are those who criticize without love and law. They do not respect Yah, who created them. There is no respect in their faces. They do not respect the person's face they look into. They do not respect gray hair or an elderly face. When they heard them say, there is money in this world, they made it their own money before they beheld it with their eyes. There is no respect for Yah in their faces. When they saw it with their eyes, it seemed to them that they should spend it. Their nobles eat from the money they trust in. They are contrary, and there is no straight thing in their tongues. They do not repeat in the evening what they spoke in the morning. They ignore sufferers and the cries of the poor. Their kings hasten for evil. They are those who disturb the one having saved refugees from the hand of the wealthy who rob them. Let them save him who was wronged and the refugee. Do not let the kings be those who begrudge justice because of this. They are those who exact a tribute. They rob a person's money. They are criminals. Their work is evil. They are not kind, as they eat a newborn calf with her mother and a bird with her egg. They make all they see and hear their own plunder. They love to gather for themselves. They are not kind to the sick or to the poor. They violently rob the money off a person who does not have it, and they gather all they found so that they may be fattened and be great in it. They will perish quickly, like a scarab beetle that came out of a pit, whose track is not found. It does not return to its house. They did not work righteousness while they were alive. Woe to their bodies when Yah will trouble and seize them. When Yah neglects them, they will perish at once. They are in one chastisement. but he still endures them of their meaning, so that they would convert. He does not quickly destroy them. They will perish when they perish. If they do not convert, he will quickly destroy them, just like the people before them who did not keep Yah's law by what is due. They are the ones who eat a person's flesh and drink a person's blood. They gird violence and work violence. They go towards sin. There's never any respect for Yah in their faces. After they rise from bed, they do not rest so that they can work their sins. Their work is drink and food, going toward destruction and sin, so that they would destroy many people's bodies in this world. Chapter 25. Their work was crooked, as are all who live hardened up in Satan's work that misleads. Yah who rules all says, woe to your body when I trouble and seize your work. For those who do not know Yah's work have cast it behind them. They have neglected my law. In the error of fulfillment, I will bring hardship over them, just as their evil is measured, as their sins were written alongside me. I will take vengeance and destroy them on the day when judgment is done. As I am complete from horizon to horizon, all the creation is seized in my authority. There are none who escape from my authority in heaven, on earth, in the depths, or in the sea. I command a snake that is under the earth, and I command a fish that is within the sea. I command birds in heaven, and I command the desert donkey in the wilderness, for it is my belonging from horizon to horizon. I am who works wonders and performs miracles before me. There are none who escape from my authority over earth or in heaven. There are none who tell me, where are you going? Or what are you doing? I command the chief messengers and hosts, all the creations whose names are called are my belonging. Beasts in the wilderness, all birds in heaven, and all livestock are my belongings. It arises from the Middle East wind to harden up and drought Mitzrayim, Egypt, and Yasharal, Israel, in the era of fulfillment. The sea of reeds will perish, being heard arising from Yah, who will come toward it, being feared and famous, for he rules the dead and the living. The sea of reeds will perish, being heard in Sheba, Nubia, India, Ethiopia's limits, and in all their regions. He watches all in high authority and innocence. His authority surpasses all authority. He keeps congregations in his authority. His authority strengthens above all authority. His kingdom surpasses all the kingdoms. His authority is what rules all the world. He is great in everything he does, and there is nothing too hard for him. He rules all clouds in heaven. He grows grass for livestock on the earth. He gives fruit on the buds. He provides food for all in each of their kinds, just as he pleases. He feeds everything that he created by each of the fruits and by each of the foods they eat. He feeds ants and locusts beneath the earth and livestock on the earth with the beasts. To the one who prays, he gives him his prayer. He does not ignore the plea of the orphan child or the widows. The rebellion of the evil is like a swirling wind. The counsels of wrongdoers is like the mist of urine. He would rather accept the clean person's plea, those who pray to him constantly. Their body is like a flying bird, and the attractiveness of their features is the silver and gold that is perishable in this world. Examination will benefit those who forgot Yah's law, not their gold. Moths will eat their clothes. Weevils will eat completely the fatness of their wheat and barley. Everything will pass by, just as the day before yesterday, and just as a word that comes out of a mouth does not return. The belongings of sinners are like also. The belonging of sinners are also like this.
Chapter
Their
26.
beautiful lifestyle
The
is
poor
like
will
a
think
passing
on
shadow.
their bed,
Sinners' belongings
but if the wealthy do
before
not
Yah
accept
are
them,
like
they
tainted
will be like
clothes.
dry wood
To
that
those who
has
are
no
kind and
greenery,
honorable,
like an
Yah will not
infertile
ignore
root
them.
in a place without
They are
moisture.
honored while they were
The
kind
leaf
to
will
the
not
poor.
be fertile
They
if
hear
there
out
is no root.
the justice of
As a leaf
sufferers
serves
and the
a
orphan child.
flower, as an
Yah will not
ornament for
ignore
fruit,
them.
unless the leaf
Without
is fertile,
neglecting the children
it
of his
will not
house,
bear
they
fruit.
honor him, while
The
they clothe the
fulfillment of
naked
man is
from the
religion.
clothes.
A
Yah
person without
gives them,
religion has no
so that
virtue.
they can give
If he
to the
strengthens
suffering
up in
refugee.
religion, his deeds are
They do not
virtuous.
favor the judgment of
Yah
the
is
loyal,
great by a
and
person
they do
who
not
works
make
true and
a
straight work.
hireling
To the
salary
one who begs
theirs.
him, he will give him
As
his
Yah's
plea
character is
and the
truth,
reward
and
of his
truth is
tongue.
honored like a double-edged sword.
He will
They
not
will not
wrong
work
the
iniquity
true on
in the
account
number
of
of
his
their
work in the
seasons
truth.
and in the balance
Yah
of
is
their
true,
measurements.
as he loves the truth. And he will not justify the sinner without their conversion on account of the evil he has worked. The souls of all people have been seized in his authority, because he is the one who rules earth and heaven. He will not favor the wealthy over the poor in the time of judgment. He will not justify him without conversion.
Chapter 27. He created, bringing the whole world forth out of nothing. He prepared hills and mountains completely. He strengthened up the earth on the water, so that the sea would not be shaken. He delineated her by sand. His first words, Yah had said, "Let light be created." Light was created when this world had been covered in darkness. Yah created all creation. He prepared this world. He strengthened up this world by what was due, and by his straight power he said, "Let evening be dark." Again Yah said, "Let light be created." So it dawned, and there was light. He elevated the upper waters to heaven. He stretched it forth like a tent. He strengthened it up with the winds, and he placed the lower waters within a pit. He locked the sea shut in sand, and he strengthened them up in his authority, so that they did not drown in water. He placed animals and beasts within the water, and he also placed Leviathan and Behemoth, who are great beasts. He placed within it beasts without number, seen and unseen. On the third day, Yah created on earth its plants, all the roots, woods, fruits that bear forth in each of their kinds, and a tree of life, beautiful for them to look at, were created. He created a tree of life that was both beautiful to look at and sweet for them to eat. He created grass and all plants, whose seeds are found from within them to be food for birds, livestock, and beasts. The light set and rose, and on the fourth day he said, "Let light be created in the heaven called cosmos." And so Yah created the moon, sun, and the stars. He placed them in the cosmos so that they would shine in this world
and so they would sustain them day and night. After this, the moon, sun, and stars alternated by night and day. On the fifth day, Yah created all the animals and beasts that live within the water, all the birds that fly in the heavens, and all that is seen and unseen, everyone. On the sixth day, he created livestock, beasts, and others. Having prepared everything, he created Adam in his example and appearance. He gave him all the animals and beasts he created so that he would reign over them. Again, all the animals, beasts, fishes, the Leviathan, and the behemoth that is in the sea. He gave him all the cows that live in the world, and sheep, the animals not seen, and those that are seen. He placed in the garden Adam, whom he created in his example and appearance, so that he could eat, cultivate plants, and praise Yah there. So he would not demolish his command. He said, "On the day when you eat from this herb of fig, you will die." He commanded him so that he would not eat from the fig that brings death. It draws attention to good and evil, and so brings death. Our mother, Eve, was counseled by a misleading snake, and she ate from that fig and gave it to our father Adam. Adam, having eaten from the fig tree, brought death on his children and on himself. As Adam had demolished Yah's command, he had eaten from the fig which Yah commanded him, saying, "Do not eat from it." Yah was troubled on our father Adam, expelled him, and sent him away from the garden. He gave to him that he gave to him that the earth would grow thistles and thorns. He cursed earth because of him when he demolished his command, so that he would eat the reward of his weariness, and having toiled and labored, that he would plow the earth. When Yah sent him forth toward this land, Adam returned in complete sadness, having toiled and labored, that he would plow the earth. He ate from his weariness and struggles. Chapter 28. After his children lived, having abounded there, was from among them those who praised and honored Yah, and who did not demolish his command. There were prophets who spoke about what was done and what will be done, and among his children were sinners who spoke lies and wronged others. Adam's firstborn child, Cain, became evil and killed his brother Abel. Yah took judgment on Cain because he killed his brother Abel. Yah troubled the earth because it drank his blood. Yah told Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" And Cain, in the arrogance of his heart, said, "Am I my brother's keeper?" Abel became clean, but Cain became a sinner by killing a kind man, his brother Abel. The kind child, Seth, was born. Adam fathered 60 children. There were kind and evil people among them. There were kind people from among them, people who were prophets, and people who were traitors and sinners. There were blessed people who were kind, who fulfilled their father Adam's will, and all he told to his child Seth, from Adam to Noah. Noah was a kind man who kept Yah's law. He sanctioned Yah's law for his children. He told them, "Guard," and they did not demolish Yah's law. And so they could tell it to their children as their father Noah told them, and so could keep Yah's law. They lived, and they taught their children, those born after them. Satan lived when he spoke for their fathers, having taken place in idols that reached for a grave that had vows on them. Satan defeated the people who listened to him when they did all that he, who is the teacher of sin, commanded them. They lived and worshipped the idols as their order until the kind man, Abraham, who fulfilled Yah's will, came. He had lived strengthened up in the law beforehand, separated from his cousins. Yah swore an oath with him, having abided in wind and fire. Yah swore to him that he would give him land for inheritance, and that he would give it to his children for eternity. He swore it to Isaac, just as he did with Abraham, so that he would give Isaac his father Abraham's inheritance. He swore to Jacob also that he would give him his father Isaac's inheritance. He swore to him just as he did with Isaac. He separated their children who were born from Jacob, apart from for the 12 tribes of Yasharal, Israel. Yah made them priests and kings. He blessed them, saying, "Completely abound, and be very many." He gave them their father's inheritance. However, while he fed them and loved them, they did not cease to grieve Yah in everything they did. When he destroys them, they will seek him in worship. They will turn from sin and return to Yah, for he loves them, and Yah will pardon them. Being kind to everyone he created, he will pardon them. It is because of their father's works that he loved them. It is not because of their own work. He stretches forth his hand, his right hand, in plenty, so that he nourishes a hungry body. He reveals his eye for pardoning, so that he will multiply grain for food. He gives food to crows, chicks, and to beasts that ask him. When they cry to him, he will save Yasharal's children from the hand of their enemies, who delay due to time. They will return to sin again, so that they would grieve him. He will arouse their enemies in their area on them. They will destroy, kill, and capture them. Again, they will shout to Yah in mourning and sadness. That is the time when he sends help and saves them by the hands of prophets. There are times when he saves them by the hand of princes, but when they grieve Yah, their enemies tax and capture them. David arose and saved them from the hands of the Philistines. Again they grieved Yah, and Yah aroused on them those who worried them. There was the time when he saved them by Jehoshaphat's hand, and again they forgot Yah, who saved them in their time of tribulation. As Yah has brought hardship on them, he will arouse on them their enemies, who are evil, who will harden up tribulation over them and capture them completely. When they were worried by tribulation, they were seized, and again they cried to him. He saved them by Gideon's hand, but again they grieved Yah by the work of their hands. He again aroused on them those who hardened up tribulation over them, and they returned, wept, and cried to Yah. Again he saved them from these people by Samson's hand. They rested a little from tribulation, but they arose so that they would grieve Yah by their former sin. Again he rose on them others who worried them. Again they cried and wept to Yah, so that he would send help to them. He saved them
from those people by Barak and Deborah's hands. They lived a little season while they worshipped Yah, but again they forgot Yah in their former sin and grieved him. He aroused on them others who worried them, and again he saved them by Judas' hand. Having sat a little season, they arose so that they would grieve Yah by their former sin. He arose on them, those who ruled them, but they cried and wept to Yah. Then he struck Abimelech's head, who was a warrior, who came to Yehuda, so that he would fight against the country. He saved them by the children of Judah and by the hand of Mattayu, the woman in the tower. When his army fled and was scattered, Yasharal's children pursued them and fought them as far as Joppa. They did not spare even one person from them. After this they waited a little and rose up so that they would grieve Yah. He then aroused others to rule them. Again they completely cried toward Yah, but Yah ignored their crying and their mourning, because they had constantly grieved Yah. They had demolished his law. They captured and took them with their priests to the nation of Babylon. Then Yasharal's children, who were traitors, did not stop grieving Yah while they worked sin and idol worship. Yah was troubled enough that he would destroy them at once in their sin. Haman, having introduced 10,000 talents of silver into the king's treasury on the day when it was known, resided anger in King Xerxes' reasonings, so that he would not spare their children in the nation of Persia, from India to Ethiopia. Haman requested that Xerxes would destroy them. He did so, and he wrote a letter where his decree was written by the king's authority. He gave his seal in his hand so that he would deliver the Yahudim to him in the nation of Persia. He gave him a seal so that he would destroy them all on the day he wished to destroy them, as the king commanded. He commanded that he would bring their money, gold, and silver into the king's treasury. When Yasharal's children heard this, they cried and wept to Yah completely. They told it to Mordecai, and Mordecai told it to Esther. Esther said, "Fast, pray, and all Yasharal's children cry to Yah in the place where you are." Mordecai wore sackcloth and sprinkled dust on his body, while Yasharal's children fasted, prayed, and had conversion in the nation where they resided. Esther was utterly downcast. Though a queen, she wore sackcloth. She sprinkled dust on her body, and she shaved her head. She did not anoint perfume as Persia's queens anointed themselves, and in the core of her ruach spirit, she cried and wept to her father's creator, Yah. Because of this, Yah gave her favor alongside Persia's king Xerxes. She made a lovely feast for her father's creator. Haman and the king attended the feast that Esther prepared, just as Xerxes wished to do for Mordecai. Yah paid hardship on Haman, and they hanged him on a tall gallows. The king's letter commanded that they would acquit Yasharal, as they were written in all their accordance, so they would not tax, rob, or wrong them. Yah will pardon Yasharal when they do this, when they cry, having conversion,
so that the Babylonians would love and honor those in the nation of Persia where they live. Then another letter of the king was commanded, so that they would not destroy their nation or plunder their livestock. When they grieve him, he will arouse people over them who will worry them. At that time, they will weep and cry completely, so that he would send help to them, and that he would save them from the hand of those who harden up tribulation over them. Chapter 29. When Mitzrayim, Egypt's people, made Yasharal's children work by making them work bricks in difficulty, when they worried them in all their work by kicking mud without straw and heating bricks, when they made them work having appointed chiefs over them who rushed their workers, they cried to Yah that he would save them from working all Mitzrayim's bricks. At that time he sent Aaron and Moses to help them. Yah had sent them so they could send forth his people from Pharaoh's house of rulership. He saved them from brickwork because in Pharaoh's arrogance he refused to adjourn Yasharal so that they would not be ruled by Yah and sacrificed to him in the wilderness. Yah had sent them so that they would send forth his people Yasharal from Pharaoh's house of rulership in Mitzrayim. Moses and Aaron saved them. Yah neglects the arrogant, and he drowned Pharaoh in the sea of reeds with his army because of his arrogance. As for those who do not work righteousness in all the kingdoms that he appoints and crowns, to those who ignore the word of Yah, he will destroy them just like Pharaoh. When nobles and kings fulfill his will for him, when they give those who serve in righteousness their wages, they honor his great name. Yah, who rules all, says, if they will straighten up in my kingdom, I will straighten up their kingdom for them. Work righteousness for me, and I will work righteousness for you. Keep my law, and I will keep your bodies. Live strengthened up in my law, and I will reside honestly in you as your reasoning. Love me, and I will love your welfare. Near me, and I will heal you. Yah, who rules all, says, believe in me, and I will save you from tribulation. Do not live hypocritically, as Yah, who rules all, loves straight work. He says, if you draw near to me, I will draw near to you. You who are sinners and traitors, cleanse your hands from sin and distance your reasonings from evil. I will distance my anger from you, and I will turn to you in charity and forgiveness. I will distance criminals and enemies who work iniquity from you, just as I saved my servant David from his enemies who met him. I saved him from their abundance of malice, from the hand of Goliath, who was a warrior, from Saul's hand, who sought to kill him, and from the hand of his child Absalom, who wished to take his kingdom. I will save those who keep my law and fulfill my will, as David did. I will bequeath honor. They will be great in the present world and in the world to come. I will crown them over everyone so that they will be great. They will be one with kings who serve Yah and are honored in their beautiful way of life, just as the prophet Samuel served him in his beautiful way of life from his infancy, whom Yah, being law, chose. He told him that he would follow Eli, who was an elder servant, when he served in Yah's home, the temple. Samuel's work was also merciful and beloved. When he grew, while he served in Yah's home, the temple, Yah appointed and anointed Samuel so that he would appoint his own people, and so kings would be appointed by the accordance of Yah. Yah had loved Samuel, and he loved that the people Samuel chose from Yasharal's children would be appointed. Samuel fulfilled the will of Yah who created him. Yah gave Samuel the anointing of the kingdom in his hands. When Saul was in his kingdom, Yah told his prophet Samuel, "Go, as I have favored Jesse's child, David, who was born from the people of Judah. Anoint him." Chapter 30. I have hated Saul's people, for he has grieved me, because he violated my word. I neglected him, for he did not keep my law. I will not crown from his family again. To those who do not keep my law, word, and order like Saul, I will destroy my kingdom and my gift from their children for eternity. They did not make me great when I made them great. I will destroy them. I will not return to lift them up again, though I honored them as they did no honor me. I will not make them great. They did not do one good thing for me when I did a good thing for them. They did not forgive me when I forgave them. They did not make me a ruler when I made them rulers over everyone. They did not honor me when I honored them more than anyone. I will not make them famous again or honor them. They did not keep my law. I withhold the gift I gave them. I will not return the money I withheld from them as the measure I troubled and swore. Yah who rules all says this. He said, I will honor those who honor me and love those who love me. I will separate those who do not honor me or keep my law from the gift I gave them. Yah who rules all says, I love those who love me, and I make great, and he who makes me great. He says, as I, Yah, am the one who rules all, there are none who escape my authority on earth or in heaven. I am Yah who kills, who saves, who grieves, and forgives. As fame and honor are mine, I honor him who I wish. I am the one who judges, avenges, and destroys. I make wretched the one whom I hate. I am the one who forgives those who love me and faithfully call my name. For I am the one who feeds the wealthy and the poor. I feed birds and animals, fishes in the sea, beasts and flowers. I do not only feed mankind, I feed crocodiles, whales, gophers, hippos, and badgers. I feed all that live in the water and all that fly on the wind. I do not only feed man, all this belongs to me. I am the one who feeds all that seek me by all that is due, and as I please. Chapter 31. Kings do not reign without my will. Sufferers are by my command. They are not poor without my command. Powerful ones are by my will. They have no strength without my will. I gave being beloved for David and wisdom for Solomon. I added years to Hezekiah. I diminished Goliath's years, and I gave power to Samson. I weakened his power. I saved my servant David from Goliath's hand, who was a warrior. I also saved him from King Saul's hand and from the second warrior who disputed him. He had kept my command, and I saved him from the hand of those
who disputed and fought with him. I loved him, and I love all the nobles and kings who keep my law, as they have made me great. I will give them prevalence and power over their enemies, so that they would inherit their fathers' lands. I will give to them the cleansed and shining land of inheritance that I swore to their fathers. Chapter 32. Yah, who rules all, says, "And you nobles and kings, hear me in my word, and keep my command, so that you do not grieve me, and worship as the children of Yasharal. They grieved me, and worshipped other idols, but I kept and saved them, because I, Yah, am their creator. Yah, who rules all, says, hear me in my word. All whom I raised, loved, and fed from their conception, from their father and mother, to whom I sent forth toward earth's crops, and whom I fed the fatness found from earth's making, just as it is due. I gave them the grapevine and the olive tree's fruit, fruit that they did not plant, and clear water they did not dig. Hear me in my word, so you do not grieve me like Yasharal's children grieved me, worshiping other idols, when I, Yah, am their creator." He asked them, "Who fed their sheep milk and honey from the comb, with hulled wheat? Who clothed their clothes with ornaments? And who gave them all their love? Without its life, I deprived them of everything they begged me." Chapter 33. Just as David spoke, saying, "The children of Yasharal were fed manna, lowered by messengers. Hear me in my word, so that you do not grieve me like the children of Yasharal grieved me by worshiping idols, while I am their creator, Yah, who fed them sweet manna in the wilderness." He says, "I did all this for them, so that they would worship me by what is rightly due." Yah, who rules all, says, "But they did not worship me, and I neglected them. They grieved me and lived hardened up in the law of idols, not my law. I will bring hardship on them, just as they sinned, as they had neglected my worship, and they did not strengthen up in my counsel and my order. I neglected them in the measure of the sin that they worked with their hands. I will lower them to Gehenna in the final judgment that is done in heaven. They did not keep my law, and I troubled them. I will diminish their years in this world. Even though you are a king, you are not just a man who will die and be. Even though you are a king, are you not just a man who will die and be demolished? Who will be dust and worms tomorrow? But today you boast and are proud, like a man who will live forever. Yah, who rules all, says, "As for you, who is beheld, being well today, is a man who will be dead tomorrow. If you keep my command and my word, I will bequeath you an honored nation with honored kings who do me justice, honored kings whose dwelling place is light, whose crowns are beautiful, whose thrones are silver and gold. The people who sit on them are adorned," he says. "They will be great within my kingdom. It is a place approached by those who work righteousness. As for those who work sin, they do not keep my law, says Yah, who rules all. It is not due them that they should enter into my kingdom, where the honored kings will enter." Chapter 34. Midian's kingdom.
will perish, but Rome's kingdom will completely strengthen up over Macedonia's kingdom. Nineveh's kingdom will strengthen over Persia's kingdom. Ethiopia's kingdom will strengthen up over Alexandria's kingdom, as people will arise. Moab's kingdom will strengthen up on Amalek's kingdom. Brother will rise against his brother, and Yah will avenge and destroy, just as he spoke, so that they would perish. Kingdom will rise over kingdom, people over people, and nation over nation, he says. Arguments will take place, and there will be signs, famine, plague, earthquakes, and droughts, as love has perished on this world. Yah's chastisement descends on the earth. The day will arrive suddenly when Yah will come, who frightens like the lightning that is seen from the east to the west. On the day when Yah judges, everyone will receive their hardship, just as their hands were weak and their sins were hardened. He has said, "Vengeance is mine." On the day when he judges, on the day feet are hindered, the day when they are counted for destruction will arrive. At that time, Yah will destroy in Gehenna forever those who will not live strengthened up in his law, those who work sin, those who live in the West Islands, Nubia, India, Sheba, Ethiopia, and Mitzrayim, Egypt's people, and all those who live in them. At that time they will know me, that I am Yah, who rules the earth and heaven, who gives, being loved and honored, who saves and who kills. I am the one who sends forth the sun, who sends it to set, who brings the evil and the good. I am the one who brings those whom you do not know, who slaughter and eat what you labored for, your sheep and the herds of your cows. They will capture your children while they hammer them before you, and you cannot save them, because Yah's supporting Ruach, spirit, does not live in you. You did not respect the command of Yah that you heard. He will destroy your lavishments and your assignments. But one in whom Yah's supporting Ruach lives will know everything, just as Nebuchadnezzar told Daniel, saying, I behold Yah's supporting Ruach lives in you. A person in whom Yah's supporting Ruach lives will know everything. What was hidden will be revealed to him. He will know everything that was revealed and that was hidden. There is nothing hidden from the one in whom Yah's supporting Ruach, spirit, lives. We are those who will die tomorrow. Our sins that we hid and worked will be revealed. Just as they test silver and gold in fire, it will be so with sinners. On the day of Hamashiach, the Messiah, they will be examined, for they did not keep Yah's command. Then all people and all the children of Yasharal's works will be examined. Chapter 35. Yah troubles you because you did not judge a true judgment for the orphan child. Woe to you, nobles of Yasharal. Woe to you, people who go to a house of drinking in the morning and evening to get drunk. You who are partial in judgment, who do not seek the justice of the widow or the orphan child. You are who live in sin and seduction. Yah told Yasharal's nobles, unless you live strengthened up in my command, keep my law, and love what I love, woe to you. He told them, I will bring destruction, chastisement, and tribulation over you. You will perish just like the things weevils and moths eat. Your tracks and your dwelling place will not be found. Your nation will be a wilderness, and all those who beheld your nation formerly will clap their hands. They will marvel on it while they say, was this not the nation filled with plenty and all who loved it? Yah made it this way because of the people who sinned within it. They will say, the nation had made its heart proud. It had elevated itself as it had hardened up its collar of reasoning until Yah made it wretched on the earth. It is now a desert by the arrogance of those who lived within it, as thorns have grown on it with thistles. Woe to her! It will grow weeds and nettles. It will become a wilderness and a desert. Beasts will live within it. Yah's judgment has hardened on it. It will receive the chalice of Yah's judgment because of the arrogance of its reasonings from those who lived within it. It became frightening to those who entered near it. Chapter 36. People of Macedonia, do not boast. There is Yah who will destroy you. Amalekites, do not harden up your collar of reasoning. You will be lofty to heaven, but you will descend to Gehenna. Long ago, when Yasharal entered Mitzrayim's nation, in Moab and in Midian's kingdom, Yah said, do not boast. It is not due, acting to Yah, that you yourself are Yah. You people of Ishmael, and you people of Ishmael, the slave's child, why do you harden up your collar of reasoning by what is not by your power? Why do you not think that Yah will judge you when he arises to judge the whole world? Is that day not also for you? Yah who rules all says, at that time you will receive your hardship, just as your hands have worked. Why do you elevate your reasoning? Why are you so arrogant? I will be arrogant to you, like you are arrogant to those who are not your people. You do what you will, so that you can work sin. I will neglect you in the place where they send you. Yah who rules all says, I will do this to you. He said, but if you work righteousness, and if you love what I love, I will also hear you in all that you ask of me. If you fulfill my will for me, I will fulfill your will for you. I will dispute your enemies for you, and I will bless your children and your seed for you. I will multiply your sheep and your herds of cows for you. If you lived strengthened by my command, and if you do what I love, Yah who rules all says, I will bless for you all that you seize in your hand. If you do not do my will, if you do not live strengthened up in my law and my command, all this tribulation that was told formerly will find you. You did not endure tribulation, strengthened up in my command. You did not live strengthened up in my law. You cannot escape from my anger. It will always find you. You did not love what I loved, when I am the one who created you, bringing you forth into life out of nothing. All this belongs to you, so that you would kill, heal, and do all that you wish, so that you would work and demolish, so that you would honor and dishonor, so that you would elevate and cast aside. You have neglected my worship and praise when I am the one who gave you lordship and honor alongside those who were beneath your authority. You cannot escape from my anger. It will befall you. If you did Yah justice, and if you lived strengthened up in his command, he will love you, so that you would be great with him in his lordship. You would be a partaker with those who inherit an honored nation. He has said, if they endure me, I will bequeath for them, being loved by me and honored. I will make them great in the temple where prayer is done. Yah, who rules all, has said, they will be my beloved and chosen, just like a sacrifice. Do not neglect to do the work whereby welfare takes place. Do not neglect to do good, so that you would cross from death to life. To those who work righteousness, Yah will keep them in all his righteousness, so that they would be his servants like Job, who Yah kept from all his tribulation. Yah will keep them in all righteousness, so that they would be his servants for him, just like Abraham, who saved when he killed the kings, who Yah saved when he killed the kings, and just like Moses, who he saved from Hoham's hand and Pharaoh's hand. In Yah, Abraham lived as Terah and Nimrod were also disturbing his body, evening and morning, day and night, so that they would make him worship idols. When they took him to the idols that belonged to them, he would endure tribulation when he refused. Abraham, who believed in Yah since his childhood, was to Yah his trusted friend. He refused and would worship Yah as his creator. He loved Yah completely, and he did not stop worshiping Yah even until his death. He did not depart from his law even until his death. He taught his children so that they would keep Yah's law. Just like their father, Abraham kept his law. They did not depart from Yah's law. Just as Yah told the messengers, saying, I have a friend in this world named Abraham. Abraham's children, Jacob and Isaac, who are Yah's servants, as Yah spoke of them, did not depart from his law. Yah, who was praised alongside them and who rules all, said, Abraham is my friend, Isaac is my confidant, and Jacob is my friend in whom my reasonings adore. When he loved the children of Yasharal completely, they continually grieved him in their lives. He lived while enduring them, feeding them manna in the wilderness. Their clothes did not age out, for they were fed manna, that is, the bread of knowledge. But their feet did not stir. Their reasoning would always distance them from Yah. They were a people who worked sin from the very beginning. They had no hope to be saved. They became like a crooked bow. They did not become like their fathers, Isaac, Abraham, or Jacob, who served Yah in their beautiful way of life. They would always grieve him by their idols on the mountains and hills. They would eat on the mountains, caves, and at the roots of trees. They would slaughter a steer, and they would sacrifice it. They would be great in the work of their hands. They would eat all the sacrifice, and they would drink the sacrifice. They would play with demons and sing. Demons would admire all their games and songs for them. They would work in their drunkenness and adultery without measure. They would work robbery and greed, the work Yah hates. Canaan's idols, Midian's idols, Baal, Apollo, Dagon, fallen messengers, and Archimedes, the idols of Philistine, and to all the people's idols in their places they would sacrifice. All of Yasharal would worship idols, just as others worshipped idols, with the belongings they see and hear of. They would make games, songs, and fierce chanting like others did. All Yasharal's people did likewise. They said, "We will worship Yah," without keeping his command and his law that Moses told them in the Torah, so that they would keep Yah's law and distance themselves from idol worship. It was so they would not worship idols apart from their father's creator, who fed them the honey found in Magah, who fed them grain, the grain of plantation, who sent them forth to the earth's crops, and who fed them manna. Moses commanded them, saying, "Do not worship idols, for Yah is your creator, and he feeds those who love him. He does not deprive those who love him and desire him." They did not cease to grieve Yah. They would grieve Yah the moment he made them great. When he grieved them, they would cry out to him, and he would save them from the tribulation that found them. They would be completely great again and would live many years. Then they would completely return their hearts to sin, so that they would grieve Yah just as before. Then he would arouse others in their area on them, so that they would destroy them. They would worry and tax them. Again, they would completely return and cry to their Creator, Yah. He would forgive them because of their fathers Noah, Isaac, Abraham, and Jacob, who served Yah in their beautiful way of life from the beginning, for whom he strengthened up his oath. It is not because of their own works that he forgave them. He loved those who kept his law, wishing that they would multiply their children like the stars in heaven and the sands in the sea. When the dead arise, they will be like the sand in the sea. The souls of sinners will separate from the children of Yasharal and enter into Gehenna. As Yah told Abraham, "Behold the heavens at night, and count the stars if you can." Likewise, he had told them, "Your children and the righteous will shine in heaven just like the stars. They will be like the stars that shine in heaven, and they will have the souls of the kind born from Yasharal." Again, he told him, "Stand to the edge of the river and to the sea. Behold what is amid the sand. Count if you can. The children who are sinners will be likewise those who will descend into Gehenna when the dead arise. These are the souls of sinners." Abraham believed in Yah, and because of this, it was accredited to him as righteousness. He found morale in this world. After his wife Sarah aged, she gave birth to Isaac. He had believed that those who work righteousness will arise and enter the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom that is strengthened forever. He will find a kingdom in heaven. He believed that those who work sin will go to Gehenna, the place that lives hardened up forever, when the dead are raised. As for the righteous who work righteous work, they will reign with Yah forever. He had believed that it will be judged forever in perfect truth, without falsehood, over those who work sin. He will find life in the kingdom of heaven. Make glory and praise come to Yah in perfect truth, without falsehood. The first book that speaks the Meqabyan's words is full and has been fulfilled. End of First Meqabyan. This book was originally written in Ge'ez. The first book of Ethiopian Maccabees tells of Maccabeus and his sons, Abijah, Shelah, and Pantera, who resisted a tyrannical king's idol worship. It also features brothers Judah, Maccabeus, and Meqabias revolting against King Acrandus of Midian, likely composed in the high medieval period, post-14th century. It highlights faith and defiance against oppression. All three of the Meqabyan books are considerably different than the original Maccabean books, composed in Greek.